is an NFC East division matchup between the Eagles and the Commanders. Who saw this coming? Who saw this matchup in the championship game? Not me either. Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts going up against one another. This seems like a lopsided matchup from the outside looking in. But again, Steve, you and I had said that this is a winnable game for the Commanders. And I think each team, there are things that they can do to really bolster their chances against the other. So being the resident Eagles fan, let me focus on taking the Birds side of things first.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Always go Birds. I got 3 key points about what the Birds can do. Number 1, play within themselves and play within the offense and decide what that game plan is. So Jalen Hurts has not had a prolific postseason, which so far has been fine. A.J. Brown has been A.J. Brown the whole season. We kind of went into that last episode with his drama and his attitude and wanting more action. And Saquon Barkley, who has been the focal point of the offense, had monster season. What are we going to do with him? Those 3 guys and Sirianni need to decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is the best game plan to beat the Commanders and achieve the goal of the Super Bowl. It's not about us. It's not about the egos. It's not even about really the Eagles. It's about the goal of winning the Super Bowl and being a part of history. We can't have any moments. We can't have any A.J. Brown reading on the sideline. We can't have any Jalen Hurts coming out post-game being like, that's what you guys want to see. We can't have that. We need to have a regular game and, like I said, commit to the game plan and stay with that. Key point number 2, we need to make Washington beat us, not Jaden Daniels. You need to surround him. You need to pressure him. You need to get up in his face. You need to load the box. He has 1 target, Terry McLaurin. He had just over 1,000. He had 1,096 yards this season, 82 catches. The person next to him in total receiving yards was Zach Ertz. He had almost 450 less yards than Terry McLaurin. Jaden Daniels, when he rushes for 45-plus yards, they are 7-2. Jaden Daniels, when he throws for 225-plus, they are 5-2. Jaden Daniels, when he is sacked 3-plus times, they are 5-4. So a little bit better, but still a winning record. They need to load up on Jaden. How about their starting running back? How about Brian Robinson Jr.? 799 yards. Call it 800. You know what Jaden Daniels had? 891. He is the offense. If we can stop Jaden Daniels, if we can load up the box and make Washington beat us and not Jaden Daniels beat us, kind of the opposite of what I said about Josh Allen, going to be good for us. And point number 3, which is kind of generic, but is really important for the Eagles, don't let up. Get the halftime lead, keep the halftime lead, and keep the momentum. Because a team like Washington is going to come into this game as an underdog, a divisional rival, who we have said, I think everyone kind of is like that Washington is not going to win. Like that overall feeling, they're going to build off of momentum. They're going to build off of the noise, and they're going to build off of the Eagles making mistakes and them hyping up around that. We can't allow that to happen. We need to jump and not let go, because that's going to deflate a team like Washington. If they start to believe themselves, the noise that they'd heard from everybody else, that's going to deflate them heavy. If we go into the locker room and Sirianni's got to give a hype speech about why are we down to the Commanders, A.J. Brown's going to be, Saquon Barkley's going to try to do too much and break a leg, and Jalen Hurts probably going to do the same thing, try to do too much, throw it downfield, get us a pick. Steve, 3 keys to beat the Commanders. Play within yourself and agree on the offensive game plan. Make Washington beat you and not Jaden Daniels. And don't give up. Get the lead. Keep the lead. Win the game. Go Birds.
First off, that was well done.
Thank you.
I agree with you. I think that those are all things that the Birds need to accomplish in order to beat the Commanders this game, right? If they are going to win, they have to stop Jaden Daniels. For the Commanders, the 3 keys for them to win this game. Key number 1, you got to stop Saquon Barkley. Obviously, a lot easier said than done, Mr. 2K himself, right? On December 22nd of 2024, the Eagles and Commanders faced off. Saquon had 29 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. If that happens again, they will not beat the Eagles. Out of the Eagles' losses this season, they have had 3 regular season losses. 2 of them, Saquon ran for less than 100 yards. If you hold Saquon to under 100 yards rushing, you have a much better chance of winning, obvious, right? The second thing that the Commanders need to do, kind of like what you said, where they need to let Washington beat them and not Jaden Daniels beat them. The Commanders need to force Jalen Hurts to keep the ball in his hand. The Commanders currently have the 3rd ranked passing defense in the league. Jalen Hurts has a lot of turnover issues going back to last season. Now, where he didn't have the interception numbers this year because Saquon took a large portion of the load off of him, he still had 10 fumbles in 16 games. Jalen Hurts also has a large problem with holding the ball too long. He takes unnecessary sacks because he doesn't throw the ball away, which has led him to being the 7th most sacked quarterback in the NFL this season. Key 3, finish strong. The Commanders went 12-5 this season. Out of those 5 losses, 3 of them, they gave up 14 or more points in the 4th quarter. One of them being against the Eagles, where they gave up 20 points in the 4th quarter. That game finished 36-33. You play a better 4th quarter, you're not in that position. If the Commanders can keep the ball out of Saquon's hands by stopping him, force Jalen Hurts to keep the ball in his hand and finish strong in the 4th quarter, it definitely increases their chances of being able to win this game, Ken.
Yeah, it is not going to be easy. I mean, like I said, Jalen Hurts not having a prolific season or postseason. So making him beat you and not Saquon, certainly a good one. But, and the, good news for the Commanders, at the time of this recording, Jalen Hurts is limited in practice. Came out and with a knee injury from getting hit in the 3rd quarter of the Rams game. Dallas Goedert didn't participate in practice. Mitchell is apparently dealing with injuries. So the Eagles are going into Sunday banged up. So maybe it's easier than we're making it out to be.
The only consolation that the Eagles have is the Commanders also finished 3rd to last in rush defense ranking. So stopping Saquon is going to be a task.
Yeah, and not even Saquon. I mean, if Jalen Hurts can get healthy, if he can get back into the running game. Steve, Jaden Daniels beats the Eagles, goes to the Super Bowl. At that point, what are we talking about with Jaden Daniels? Like, what conversations do we need to start having about his future and his ability to directly impact success? Like, think about the position Washington was in a season ago, and now they're in the conference championship game. Like, what do we start having to say about Jaden Daniels if he advances?
First thing I'm going to ask you is preseason. What did you think the ceiling for the Commanders was?
The ceiling? First round exit?
All right. Knowing that was our prediction or where we thought they could get to. And now we're talking about after drafting a guy who I am on record saying was a total bust, was going to be a total bust, who I am on record saying that he is not the answer, that he is not going to be good in the NFL, to watching where he's taken this team as a rookie, where you just got done saying that outside of Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz was their 2nd best option. And he had more rushing yards or almost the same as their starting running back. We are now talking about a guy who has come in as a rookie, elevated his team to a Super Bowl contender, a team that nobody thought was even close to. What kind of conversations do you think we need to start having?
Right.
Like, I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
I know that would.
You have to start having at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
no. Yeah.
Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.